Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Claudia, I'm a psychic medium, and I work with energy. Here's what I've learned about vampires. First, to understand the idea of vampires, I need to mention something called Loosh. Loosh is a term associated with the work of Robert A. Monroe, the founder of the Monroe Institute. He introduced the concept in his 1971 book, Far Journeys. In his writings, Monroe described Loosh as a type of emotional energy produced by living beings. Human emotions generate energetic vibrations, especially intense emotions, like fear, love, pain, excitement, and grief. These emotional energies exist not only within the physical world, but also within the subtle energetic layers, sometimes referred to as the astral plane. Monroe called this emotional energy Loosh. So what does Loosh have to do with vampires? Well, vampire stories were never meant to be taken literally. Instead of blood-drinking creatures hiding in the shadows, the vampire myth actually was always meant to be symbolic. It represents beings or people who feed on emotional or life energy. In other words, what vampires consume isn't blood, it's energy, specifically emotional energy, Loosh. There are two main types of vampires. The first type of vampire is sometimes called an astral vampire. Esoteric teachings like Theosophy and others say that when a person passes in this reality, the human being separates into different layers. One of those layers is sometimes referred to as an astral shell. This is believed to be a lower emotional imprint made up of habits, cravings, fears, and desires that once belonged to the person. An astral shell is not considered a soul and is not a conscious spirit. Instead, it's more like an energetic residue, almost like a recording of emotional patterns left behind after the physical body dies. Over time, these shells slowly dissolve. However, because they cannot generate energy on their own, these shells may behave in parasitic ways. They may appear in dreams or moments of fear, drawing small amounts of emotional energy from the living. This is one of the ways that vampire idea became connected to the astral and dream world. The second type of vampire, what many people today call a living vampire, or more commonly, an energy vampire. Unlike the astral dream version, these are real people. They can be your coworker, friends, family members, or anyone you come in contact with. An energy vampire is someone who constantly drains the emotional energy of others. This isn't always intentional or malicious. In many cases, it comes from unresolved trauma, emotional wounds, addiction, or a lack of self-awareness. These individuals often thrive on intense emotional exchanges, drama, conflict, fear, or constant need for attention. After spending time around this type of person, people often report feeling exhausted, anxious, or emotionally drained. So in that sense, the vampire myth actually reflects real human dynamics. The symbolism of blood in ancient folklore represented life force or vitality rather than something literal. So when we look at vampire stories from this perspective, they begin to look less like tales about monsters and more like symbolic descriptions on how energy affects us. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know your experience with energy vampires in the comments down below.